In the meantime, we do want to reset here at 10 o'clock as we see those final numbers this evening with 99% of the precincts reporting 51% of the vote going to Brandon Johnson this evening.
He will become the next mayor of Chicago. Paul Vallas gave his concession speech. We carried that for you live here on WGN, and we have been reacting to that. For many, a surprise that Brandon Johnson, given how close the race was, goes on to claim victory. We are waiting to hear from him to make his victory speech to his supporters and to the city of Chicago this evening.
And we've got team coverage this evening from both the Vallas and the Johnson campaign headquarters. As we mentioned, we did hear from Paul Vallas just a little bit ago where he basically conceded this race, said that they had, or actually it was you, Taman, who told us that the two had had a conversation earlier this evening about this race. Mayor Lightfoot also sending out the statement congratulating Mayor-elect Brandon Johnson. We've got a team of reporters who are working this race, one of them being our Patrick Elwood, who is live this evening at the Brandon Johnson campaign. Pat.
Hi, good evening to you once again. Great anticipation for Mayor-elect Brandon Johnson. Evidently that is the case, as we've been reporting, to take to the stage and address his supporters. This place is just absolutely bonkers with excitement. People have been coming in droves over the last hour, and you can feel that momentum, that confidence building as I was speaking to various different people. You look across this crowd and you see a vast coalition of young folks, diverse in terms of color, ethnicities, background, etc. Let's talk about some of the ardent supporters and early supporters of Brandon Johnson. Toni Preckwinkle, she is here as well. Presumably she will be up there on stage with Brandon Johnson. She identified him years ago as someone that she thought could make a difference in terms of advancing the agenda. It's labeled as progressive, whatever you want to call it. And a little to that point, Chicago Teachers Union released a statement under President Stacey Davis Gates saying that these seeds that are bearing fruit tonight were planted back in 2012 under the leadership of Karen Lewis, who and her team made it a conscious, steadfast effort to try and build this slowly as the years went by. It was painful at times, she admits, because of the teacher strikes, but she says that was something that we were not going to cave into. We felt that we needed to go to the wall. That made a lot of enemies within the city of Chicago, didn't really appreciate that order of business. Tonight, perhaps, the rooster has come home, and the form of Brandon Johnson, that enough voters anyway are putting stock in his message for a better, safer, stronger Chicago. Whatever that entails in the days ahead, it was a message that certainly resonated with enough voters out there tonight. We've gotten the 5-minute standby. We got that about 10 minutes ago. So we'll see where we are with Brandon Johnson. That said, this place is going to go, you're going to have to raise the roof on Brandon Johnson. It was basically an unknown months ago and very little name recognition. And he just kept at it every single day, building those endorsements along the way and getting a lot of support in terms of the unions out there, the teachers union in particular. So essentially this is a litmus test for the teachers union and how they've been doing business over the last 10 to 12 years. And we'll see if he can unite Chicago at a time. But obviously crime is a huge issue, as Pat said a little while ago. How to address that crime, that's what we're going to hear in the days and the weeks ahead. We're on standby mode. We'll be back, obviously, when Brandon Johnson takes the stage. We're reporting live from the South Loop at a very, very energetic, enthusiastic Brandon Johnson campaign night party. Back to you.
Yeah, we'll get louder there when we check back in with you, Patrick. Thank you very much. Yes, Brandon Johnson did find a way to stand out in that crowded field. Now we want to switch gears. Jackie Bang is live at the Vallas headquarters in the Loop. Jackie, we just heard a very conciliatory concession speech from Paul Vallas.
Yeah, I think the crowd was very surprised when he conceded to Brandon Johnson. I think they felt like he was going to give a speech that was going to say, be patient, wait, we're going to wait for the mail-in ballots to be counted, just take a breath and everything's going to be okay. So when he said, I called Brandon Johnson and thanked him and congratulated him, there was a collective gasp throughout the entire crowd. Vallis quickly quieted the crowd because he didn't want to hear any boos, and he took on a very harmonious tone and said, "It is now time to back Brandon Johnson." Here's what he had to say.
It's critically important. I mean, this campaign that I ran to bring the city together would not be a campaign that fulfilled my ambitions if this election is going to divide us more. So it's critically important that we use this opportunity to come together, and I've offered him my full support on his transition, and God knows we spent a lot of time in forums together, and certainly we shared a lot of opinions, and I look forward to working with him and providing him with the full support he needs to be successful. Before I begin,
I will say there was a woman who came up to me and she said, "I am the wife of a police officer, and I can't give you my name, but I can tell you we are absolutely gutted." He had the support of the first responders, of the police officers, and that was just her opinion, but she was near tears when she told me that. Now, Vallis also thanked all of the people who endorsed him. In particular, he really thanked Willie Wilson, one of his former opponents, but he mentioned that he was there for the Vallises when the Vallises' youngest son passed away due to drug abuse. So he thanked everybody in the crowd. He thanked all of his family, of course, all of those who endorsed him. And now he says, it is time to enjoy his wife's birthday, which is today. And he jokingly said, "I think she got her gift," meaning he doesn't have to do this anymore. Back to you.